Welcome to part 2 of the rebirth of Lucha Underground. I'm just going to take some time to introduce myself to you. My name is Lloyd, and I'm one of the longest tenured Dynasty writers on the Grey Dog Software Forum. GDS are the company behind the EWR and TEW Wrestling Manager Sims, and I've been playing since around 2010-2011. In March of 2013, I began my first Dynasty, the long-running and popular WWE 3 Brands Diary, which lasted over 3 in-game years, where I wrote Raw, SmackDown, and my own developmental brand called Warzone. Since then, I've written 13 long-running diaries in total, winning awards and gaining a big following. The thing I'm most proud of, though, is inspiring others to try this. I love writing despite having no skills, no qualifications. I love booking wrestling shows and creating characters and stories in this way. You'll see from this and the following pages that I have spent a lot of time writing in the Cornell-verse or C-verse. In the C-verse, every character is up for an element of creativity. There are only small notes and images to go on, so you have to make a lot of it up as you go along. You'll also notice that I wrote in Canada twice with North of the Border Pro Wrestling. I also headed back to 21CW in the UK for a sequel, and I've written for both the Land of the Supreme, SWF, and TCW, with a fun stop off in Raw in Australia. And then my final C-verse project, Lucha Worldwide. This Lucha Underground inspired diary was bags of fun, and I wrote and posted the entire first season with a little bit of season 2 thrown in as well. However, I've also spent some time writing real-world projects, all under the WWE or WWF banner, but the last time I played or began a WWE diary was in 2022. My good buddy Tog and I had written a WWF and WCW diary together, which piggybacked off the back of his brilliant WCW one. Once he finished up, I then took it on in 2022 and made it its own diary, but it's been over 7 years, since 2019, that I've begun the current day WWE diary. It's fair to say I didn't watch much during the pandemic, but also I tend to write for WWE when it's bad only, in a sort of I'd have handled these characters differently kind of way. I'll try and remember to post some links to these projects in the comments, but the older ones were on the old forum, so the images are long gone and the format was ripped apart, sadly. So why Lucha Underground? Why Undertaker? Why now? For me, Lucha Underground is one of those big what-ifs in wrestling. They had so much success, and so many of your favourite wrestlers today spent some time there. I wish it had carried on, I wish it was still running now. As for Undertaker, I believe old and or retired wrestlers still have big roles to play in the industry, and most tend to go behind the scenes or behind the camera. Taker would be a great on-screen character if he was 6 inches shorter, but he'd dwarf most wrestlers these days, so I can sit El Jefe behind a desk, hide his height. I also think he's a great character for Lucha Underground because he has that sort of undead, dead man, protector of death type character. I'm a massive fan of the Lucha Underground series, so that's why I went for Lucha Underground. And while WWE is really strong right now, it would be great to have an alternative that feels completely different. During the pandemic, we got some great cinematic matches, the Boneyard match, AEW Stadium Stampedes, just to name a couple, and I feel there's still space for that kind of programming now. WWE seems to nail every cinematic backstage or off-site scene they produce. I'm thinking of the Cody and Roman one in the stadium, You're in My Way in Life, that sticks in my mind, but I just think there's so much you can do with that. I've also always thought my content would look good on YouTube, so now it's the time to try it. If there's a previous Dynasty of mine that stands out as your favourite, drop me a comment and explain what you loved about it. I'm all about nostalgia. And next time we're going to continue the backstory of how this is going to go, introduce you to some of the people behind the scenes, and on-screen characters will be joining in. So make sure you like, comment and subscribe for free so you don't miss any of my new story.